In case anyone hasn't heard, there has been a missile launch in the northwest of the United States near this area called Whidbey Island. It is right south of the border near Vancouver. There is a naval air station there. As of this moment in time, the military has denied any involvement in it, but based on some of the information I'm going to reveal in this video, it looks very clearly like in the early morning hours of Sunday, the U.S. Interceptor system was either tested or put into play to knock something out of our upper atmosphere. Let's go right to the story so that we can start from the beginning. Mystery object spotted over Washington State Island, military denies missile launch. Well, what you can see here is just a streak of light caught by an automated weather camera. And when you zoom in way up here at the top, you can definitely see what is the body of a missile. Now, I have done this to the very, very best of my ability with my computer. This is at 400% zoom, and I'm going to see if I can use the camera to get even closer, but as you can see, it just becomes very blurry, but you can definitely make out what seems to be the body of a missile. Now, based on this information, I went and did some research, but it got me remembering something that happened a long time ago that I'm sure a lot of you will be familiar with. You see, some years ago, there was this footage captured of what looked to be a UFO badly outrunning an interceptor launched from Earth. And I'll just play this forward. If you look at the UFO, now watch it make its turn. Now watch. See that coming up? Let's look at this again. And there it goes. It's not even close. So when you look at that, I want you to look at this picture. Now, this picture is confirmed to be a United States missile interceptor. This is from CNBC. Ground-based mid-course defense element of the U.S. ballistic missile defense system launches during a flight test from Vandenberg Air Force Base, California, 30 May 2017, so a little over a year ago. This is a flight from Vandenberg. Now, if you look at this, and then you look at this, I don't know, guys. That is pretty darn close. We're seeing some different shading because of the position of the sun, but I think this is what's happened. This picture here is what was taken over Whidbey Island, early morning hours around 0400 Pacific time, Sunday, and this is over a year ago at Vandenberg. Now, there's actually, in this CNBC story, a video you can watch, and it's a couple of minutes long, but I think it would be beneficial to understanding this. I have it muted, of course, but you can see what they're showing. I'll get you a little bit better zoom level here. So I don't think this is any coincidence, what we're looking at here happening on Sunday, and then, of course, we have a meeting with North Korea talking about denuclearization, talking about getting rid of these types of missiles, only a couple of days later. And when you look at this, it's identical, and what you're looking at here is confirmed, U.S. missile interceptor system. Ballistic trajectory, I mean going literally straight up. I don't think you can say that these are two different systems. What we're looking at here in this camera, being an automated one, just caught motion and even with its abilities was only barely able to capture. Now, I guess your question would have to be, was this a test or was this an actual event? I think we can understand clearly now that the U.S. is never going to tell us officially about these things. When they happen, based on what happened with Japan and based on what's happened with the Fitzgerald as well. They're just going to put out these strange stories and, label it, oh gosh, I guess we'll never know, and not even attempt to tell us the truth. Now, we could speculate a lot. Here's Whidbey Island, by the way, in case anybody wants to know. And, of course, here's Vancouver. And the reason that's important is a couple reasons. It was only earlier part of this year that this is where the G20 meeting took place. Mr. Tillerson was there talking about how to denuclearize and get rid of the ballistic missile threat from North Korea. And here we are, and we have a missile launch right near it. I don't think it's any coincidence. Whidbey Island is surrounded by water, of course, being an island with all these inlets. So it makes me kind of wonder about this. If this could have been something that was a new water-based weapon system, it could have been one of two things. It could have been a warning for us, or it could have been a warning from us. Going into this meeting to deploy one of these systems, and this would have been within our own borders, so nobody could have talked about the U.S. trying to start a war, given that we were launching from inside our own territory. And at nothing, because nobody reported these missiles over their airspace. Or it was something that was so intense and so unbelievable that they just decided to keep it quiet. I guess worst case scenario could be a North Korean or a Russian or Chinese sub that was able to silently get in there and launch. See, we wouldn't have to worry about an ICBM from North Korea if they had the ability to park the ICBM literally within our territorial waters and launch it 1 mile. There's no way to stop that. So, and the thing about an EMP we learned when we were discussing the issue with the Fitzgerald, if they were going to launch an EMP weapon, what we know is water protects from EMP. So a submarine that was below 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 feet of water would be perfectly fine. EMPs don't penetrate water. It's too dense. It just doesn't play well. So the launch vehicle itself would be perfectly fine from the EMP it created. So, just thinking out loud. And this could, if this was something that was demonstrated to us, that was, China or Russia or North Korea or some combination of those three. I think it's funny, this picture I picked up was Vietnamese. So, it would definitely bring the U.S. to the table at that point, and they can talk about denuclearization of their peninsula all they want. They wouldn't need to launch from their peninsula. They could launch it from a submarine. And maybe that's what the tests were all about to begin with. That they were never interested in trying to launch a missile from the other side of the globe. They were just interested in being able to launch a nuclear missile from somewhere. And this could have been the secret. This could have been what they were trying to hide. Because during that whole mess last year with the Fitzgerald and McCain, they were launching anti-ship missiles. Testing anti-ship missiles. To keep something like this safe, of course. To take out this submarine. This super silent submarine that perhaps they have now, that they can park right inside our territorial waters and launch anywhere they want to. And our missile interceptor system would be rendered useless. Because there's no way, if they can get that close, we could ever intercept it. And like I said, this is where all these talks took place, was Vancouver. So it would have been a great symbolic area to do this. And I just wanted to show this real quick because this is the route you would have to fly if you were going to launch from North Korea to the United States. But if they got a submarine that can get that close, the fact that we just launched an interceptor, or maybe it's us, maybe it's them, who knows? But the fact that it's being kept down and tamped down and quiet and nobody's talking about it, I think is a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal. We'll look at this one more time just to say we did. That's what they caught right there. And let's see if we can get back down here to the picture. And this is confirmed U.S. interceptor. So a lot of different speculation. Could have been us trying to take out a UFO. Could have been the Russians. It is very hard to say. It does look like it's one of ours, though. It really does. So I'll let you guys talk about this in the comment section, and I'm sure there's going to be a great deal of speculation as to what this very well could have been. Just a couple more pictures for you guys just so you can look at it one more time. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.